Yay, now I can pull up the chat. Chat. I'll chat. The loose things. And host. And I don't need that beanie nappies. Yay, welcome, Squash. I didn't forget that it was Tuesday, but it's really hot here in the East Bay, so I was working on stuff and we don't have air conditioning, so I ended up overheating a little bit, and instead of suffering through a live stream until I cooled down, I took a cold shower, and I feel so much better. And first I'm going to start with this. Template that I'm making. Yeah, I don't know where there's any good tacos in the Bay Area. There is a, what is it called? There's this taco place in Sacramento. I went there once. Their street tacos were excellent, but they're a Sacramento staple. Tacos in Sacramento. That should give me an idea. Because, like, I know the place starts with a C. I just can't remember the name of it. I know it's in West Sac. Not that one. Not that one. God, I hope they didn't close down. They were good tacos. So this place in Sacramento is... Because, like, the best places are usually the sketchy ones. This one was kind of sketchy looking, but it was delicious tacos. What was it called? I cannot find this taco place that I know that I've been to. And that makes me sad because it might mean that they closed down during the panini. Yeah, Chondo's! There we go. I knew it started with a CH. Chondo's in Sacramento. Are they still around? Oh no, they abruptly closed 2 months ago. Oh. That's not what I was expecting to see when I was looking for this taco place. Chondo's abruptly closed as all the Chondo's tacos closed because the guy ended up in court and pleaded not guilty to domestic violence charges. I haven't eaten tacos there since, like, definitely before the panini. So at least, no, it's been longer than 5 years. At least 6 or 7 years I haven't had tacos from there, but that's well, that certainly explains why it didn't show up on any of those lists. Oh, look at that. You already put it in the comments section for me. Oh, and yes, Ross, I am doing much better. I was mentioning to Cube that, or Squash, that, I was working on stuff before stream started and, kind of overheated a little bit, but a cold shower fixed that real quick, so. Actually, maybe I should have brought this back. Okay. No, actually, let's redo that, but damn it. See? There we go. Yeah, there's. I checked the internet. There looks to be plenty of decent hole-in-the-wall taco places in Sacramento. No need to be a patron of the shitty one. Looks about right. Sure. Yeah, that works. Zine template. And I'm going to save that for myself so I can use it later. So, fun updates. I've got convention this weekend. And oh, what was the other thing? No, go away. I don't need that. Okay, what are you doing, form? What are you being weird? I'm trying to do a thing, and it's not doing the thing that I want it to do. No, I don't want to preview that. I want to... Okay, look here, Google Forms. I know what I want to do, and what I want to do is have you turn off, because this form should no longer be open. Oh, there we go. I'm so smart. Where was I? Oh. So yeah, convention this weekend. That job that, I was waiting on that kind of disappeared off the face of the earth. Yeah, finally got contacted about that, so that might be back on later in the year. And I have somebody else who reached out to me, wants me to work on their children's book, so I gotta look through the notes and stuff that I've sent for that. And one of my comic buddies recommended me to someone who's looking for a mentor for high school credits. So end of the month, should everything work out, looks like I'm gonna have a little mentee working for me for about a week for college credit. So that'll be interesting. I got paperwork to read through. And where did that go? Zines and template. Boop. Honestly, the mentor thing, the biggest thing that I'm worried about is having stuff for this team to do so that they get their college credits. So probably going to be inking a lot of EC pages so that those can get base colored, because that's like the only thing I can really think of in terms of like stuff for kids. Not kids, this is a teenager. Stuff for this team to do to get credit. Actually, depending on how things go, this might be the first page they get to do. God, I hope not. This one's so background heavy. Yeah, when I got the email, because the teen's mom reached out to me, or not reached out to me, colleague CC'd me and introduced me to the parent. So me and the parent have been talking back and forth for like a day and a half now, and I guess the qualifications for getting the credits is they have to work like 6 hours a day for a week to get credit, and that like I could just have them do administrative stuff or assist with anything I might need help with. And I had to explain. Because they're I know for sure they're in the Sacramento area, and had to explain to them like, yeah, I'm not near Sacramento. I'm a good hour and a half, 2 hours away from Sacramento, so that's a commute. Also, around this time of year, I don't have much administrative stuff to do. Most of my administrative stuff is during tax season. But oh, and I explained that the majority of professional digital artwork that is done these days is done digitally. Most of the time, you will never meet with the client face to face. Like majority of my work, the most we use to go over everything is through Discord or texting, emailing, calling, that kind of stuff. Checking the comments. Yeah, my productivity after being sick, it takes like a week for me to get back to some semblance of normal. That's certainly what happened the last week or so. No, not week or so, like 2 weeks after Tim brought home a cold. I'll have to not look right. So yeah, with the mentoring thing, it sounds like they were able to work something out with the school to where it's okay that it's online. It's just gotta be like daily check-ins and stuff, so I gotta come up with some stuff. I've never been a mentor before, so this will be a learning curve for me. And yes, we were talking about Sacktown. And I started working on enclosure stuff again. Small enclosure, not my big enclosures, because I have a 10-gallon tank that I've been wanting to fix up for morning geckos, and I'm looking to pick up some this weekend. Well, I'm in Sacramento, because there's a breeder in Elk Grove. Well, not even a breeder, because morning geckos just multiply. But yeah, I'm gonna pick up some lesbian asexuals. They're so small. Let me find a good picture of these guys. They're really cute. So I'm picking up 2, and I'll probably end up with dozens relatively soon, because I don't know if I've talked to you guys about morning geckos yet, but morning geckos are a species of gecko that everyone is female, and they reproduce. I think it's called parthenogenically. I'm used to reading it, not saying it. Parthenogenesis. So they're parthenogenic, which means that they basically clone themselves. So infinite geckos, and they're so tiny. It's recommended that you don't really put them in anything bigger than a 10-gallon because they are so tiny, and they are easy to escape. Oh, lol. So they're called morning geckos, like morning, like crying, because when they were first found, the scientists only ever found females. And so they figured they were mourning their lost mate. There's no mates They they lay fertile eggs themselves, and they make little clone babies, and they're really cute. Here's a picture of one. They're super tiny. It's an adult finger. And the babies are even tinier. So the main stuff that I'm doing with this 10-gallon enclosure is I have to prep it for eventual babies, but it's mostly making it escape-proof because the babies are so tiny they tend to escape. Oh, that's a cute one. Oh, he's so small. That's not confirmed morning gecko though. Where's a baby? The babies are so dinky. Oh, here we go. There's one next to a penny. So yeah, these guys are dinky, and I've been wanting to get some for a while, but I haven't had a chance to go to Sacramento to pick any up. But now I'm gonna be in Sacramento, so I'm gonna pick up two. And oh, there we go. That's the best picture. I love that picture. There's no males, they must be sad. But he don't. So yeah, these aren't babies, but let me see if I can find a picture of a baby because they're so sinking tiny. And then I'll get back to work. Baby morning geckos. Oh, and I have an interview for volunteering at the Oakland Zoo. So that's gonna be interesting. There we go. There's the scale of a baby. Wah. Super, super, super tiny. Yeah, these ones are not like handling reptiles. These are pretty to look at reptiles because they're they escape really easily, and as babies they can slip through the smallest cracks. So from my research, a lot of people were saying like, yeah, just if you somebody called them pocket rockets because they're so small they'll escape and run away really, really quick. Well, it's not to like not work at the zoo, like I'd be getting paid zoo salary. It's volunteering, so I actually have to pay them for the t-shirt that I have to wear while volunteering. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Turns out, because I had my first weekend of work, which went great, turns out a bunch of my coworkers either work or volunteer at the Oakland Zoo or worked at the Oakland Zoo years ago, so I was like, oh dang, okay, neat. I'll have stuff to talk to people about. And stuff to talk about I had, because most of the job is like we set up the space and then we just have to be on hand for if anybody needs anything from us. So while I was working, the client needed some little signs that said reserved, so I drew up some reserved signs for them. And that was it. Told a couple people where to go to, or where to find the bathroom. Occasionally checked in just to make sure that they were getting their stuff, like, set up and out of the way in time. And then the rest of the time was just sitting in the office, getting to know my coworkers. And from what I have learned about my coworkers, the majority of them are nerds like me. One of them way more so than me. But yeah, so far so good. Convincing the Parks and Rec department to do a city-run event like BackaCon does not seem to be that difficult right now, since one of my bosses is also a bit of a nerd who's actually going to Japan next month, so that's cool. And my schedule for October has already been posted, and I'm going to be making some October money here soon. One of my shifts is a 10-hour shift, which I estimate is going to be like an hour setting up and doing stuff, an hour for lunch, and then an hour just doing whatever. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the being able to work on my iPad. I got to on one of my shorter shifts, I actually got half of a new zine sketched out, so I'm going to try to finish that before CrockerCon. It's going to be random facts about ball pythons. I've been meaning to do that one for a while. Robert Redford, why do I remember that? Oh, that's the actor that died today. I had a moment of shifting my position in my chair and then just being like, oh god, what's in my pocket? Oh, it's a pocket knife. I just love calling morning geckos lesbian asexuals. Oh, he's that guy. Okay, I remember that episode. That looks hot enough. Sure, that looks good. I forgot I got myself salt and vinegar chips the last time I did grocery shopping. And I found my salt and vinegar chips again. And then I forgot I had a bowl of chips over here. And then was happy to find my bowl of chips. Deep thoughts. Who am I? Where did I come from? Mostly just a montage of him, like, killing time and checking out the library. And luckily with this set of panels down here, I only have to draw the background once. Because I just gotta change the way that he's sitting. Yay for shortcuts. My boy Ian is blending in quite well. Food chips. Shortcuts to smart cuts. Oh, for all my Sacramento peeps. You guys excited for, oh god, what's it called? Apple Hill to be opening up? I know I am. I want my Arkansas black apples. Which I cannot find anywhere else but Apple Orchard or Apple Hills. For anybody not familiar with Sacramento, Apple Hill is the apple picking place that's really popular out here during the during autumn time. There's something like 50 different farms or whatever that you can go to do various activities. I just want the one that gives me Arkansas black apples for not a whole lot of money. Because those are my favorite. No, they're like Apple Hill's open year round, but they really kick off the festivities in the fall time. Or I should say some Apple Hill farms are open year round. But they're really mostly popular when it's apple picking season. I took my dad there last year. I guess he'd never been before. But he really enjoyed it, so now he's like, so that's the thing we're gonna do every year, right? You have like a massive head. Let's shrink that down a little bit. There we go, that looks somewhat normal-ish. Thanks! I want this page to be done! I am so tired of looking at it. I'm ready to move this story along. I wanted this story done back in January. I haven't been following about the Knights of Guinevere, but I am I'm excited for a new indie animation thing. Apple pie a la mode. We go to Abel's. That's the farm. That's one of the farms. Because they have like the best, they have the best bakery stuff. And you can get like a ton of apple donuts. Which, whenever I go to Apple Hill with my dad, or, because we just started that last year, Lee and Tim asked that I bring home an apple pie and apple donuts. Oh, there we go. There's a map. So the two that I tend to go to is the Abel's Orchards. Is it Abel's Orchard? Where did it go? I thought it was Abel. I know there's an Abel's. It's not far. Well, that's weird. I don't see it. Anyways, I'm pretty sure it's called Abel's. They have the good baked goods for not a ton of money. And then I go to High Heel Ranch for my my Arkansas black apples because they tend to have them earlier than everybody else. But I have been interested in checking out, I think it's called Rainbow Orchards. One of them, I think it's that one. They do like it's like hot cocoa or coffee or something, and it's, I'm gonna see if I can find it, because the pictures were gorgeous. It's like one of those, it's one of those, restaurant farm things where they, like, dip the glass in, like, chocolate or something. Rainbow Orchards. Show me your drinks. And they have, like, a thing where you can get, like, a flight of, I think it's hot chocolate. Of course, their website's not going to show me. Oh, I'm going to miss the Johnny Appleseed Day thing because I'm going to be at an event. Well, dang. Anyways, I saw this cool video back when I used Instagram, and it was of one of the farms, and they did these hot chocolate flights, and they looked delicious. But I don't see nothing right now, and I'm supposed to be doing a live stream, not hunting for snackies. Although I kind of want to hunt for snackies. Maybe it was called Grandpa's Cellar. That seems... Anyways. Oh man, chocolate strawberries sound excellent. We have a thing of we have a thing of strawberries in the fridge. It would not take too much to dip them in chocolate. Well, actually, it would. I would need chocolate first. Ooh, actually, I want a brownie almond mode. That sounds delicious. It'd be more part of the stream if I had the, if I had the screen settings to where you guys could see what I was searching for. I think there will be more fuck around live streams on the Discord when Mystery New Reptile shows up, if she gets to show up. Fingers crossed. Supposed to meet her this weekend. See if we're a good match. Set up her enclosure today. All by myself. Dunk math. I forgot about dunk math. Ooh, dunk math. That means that the cheapest Dunkin' Donuts is in Sacramento. Gonna get me some dunks. At the very least, a sourdough breakfast sandwich. Because those sourdough breakfast sandwiches give you life. God, I don't even know how I would do a 24-hour stream. I can barely handle talking during a 2-3 hour stream. It's like, welcome to the stream, guys. I'm gonna clean the bathroom. Join me as I clean the bathroom today. I don't even know if I can stay up for 24 hours anymore. I'd certainly get loopy. That would actually... I'd have to plan for that though, because the first... I think it's either the first Saturday or the first... October the 1st. Let me check real quick before I start yapping. Okay. Okay, but I don't remember. What day was this? Okay, I think it's the first Saturday. So the first Saturday of October is 24-hour comic day. I don't think that it's been, like, done, like, properly in many years. But it started by Scott McCloud, who is pretty well known and well respected in the comic sphere. Some of you may have even read or have his books. Understanding, Reinventing, and How to Make Comics, I think is what it's called. But it's they're comic theory books on how they're comics about drawing comics. And so he did a day where you create a 24-page comic in 24 hours. And that's the goal. So you would start at 10 in the morning on Saturday and be done by 10 a.m. on Sunday. You can gather references, materials, and plan stuff out for it, but you can't start the actual work on the comic until day of. And the goal is to complete like a page an hour until you have a 24-page comic. And I never did it to where I have a comic done or a whole new comic, but I used to do it for like getting a head start or a lot of work done on EC pages in particular, so I would usually get like maybe 4 or 5 pages done, or I would get all the sketching done or all the inking done for 12 to 24 pages. I asked what the 3 videos that you make. Yeah, it was more doable when I was younger. Also now with my job being on weekends, I'm like, what time would I have? Also, I've been the last time I did a 24-hour comic day, I kind of cheated a little bit. So what I did was I set a timer for 24 hours, and every time I took a break, I would pause the timer, or every time I took a little cat nap, because I would try to stay up for 24 hours, but I knew that my soul was weak. So if I took a break or I took a cat nap or something, I'd pause the timer. And 2 days later, I would have completed 24 hours of work on a comic. But for a while, 24-hour comic day, they would publish a booklet with a bunch of the different stories that got selected. So that was kind of neat. But yes, I too would like physically cease to exist. And I think that might be why Scott McCloud hasn't done 24-hour comics in a couple of years. It looks like the last official entry was in 2019. We're having an artist jam get together. That's fun too. Like, that's actually what 24-hour comic day evolved into, where some comic shops would open their store for 24 hours so that artists had a place to sit and work. So people would meet up at the comic shop and like hang out and try to keep each other awake and going for 24 hours. The nice comic shops would have the back room like set up with cots or something so people could take cat naps. But yeah, the page or a panel at the time are fun challenges to do. There's this, I'd have to, oh, you know what? I'd like to figure out how to do that. Jess and I had been talking about the possibility of doing like dual streams together, and doing some like different artist games for the sick entertainment of the viewers. And an artist game I would love to play with people. I use this for my kids at work when I was working with kids. What did I call it? I call it something like Artist Pictionary. And so how it works is, I can explain this with drawing. So there's a little bit of prep work that goes into it before it ever gets started. So I make these little packets, and they're usually just stapled at the top, and it explains the rules and how to play the game. And so let's say that it's fun with like 6 to 8 people. So every person gets a packet. And each packet contains 7 individual pages, including the instructions. So how it works is everybody gets a packet and a pencil or pen or whatever it is that you want to use, and you set a timer for like let's say 3 minutes for the first one. So on the first page, and you're not supposed to let anybody see this, so on the first page, either if it so like I give 3 minutes for writing, but some of the packets you could just have a simple phrase already written. But the point being, the first page that you see is a short sentence. So I usually like to have people write a sentence because then it gives everybody something to do. So first page, you have your sentence, and it doesn't need to be super complicated or anything. It just needs to like convey an idea. So you can do like a dog jumped over the moon. So you really only need like 3 minutes to write a sentence, because any more than that and people usually finish and get antsy, or at least kids do. So then after you do this, you pass your booklet to the person next to you, and whoever's leading the game could say something like, pass to the person on your left. We'll go with that. You know, I'm going to do right since the arrow's pointing right. So after you write your sentence and you pass to the person on the right, they have 5 minutes to draw on the second page after they read the sentence. Right. Draw. I'm going to signify they flipped the pages. Cool. So now you pass to the person to the right, and the person to the right draws the thing that they read. So this game is a lot of fun with people who aren't artistically inclined. So I'm going to do my best to not be artistic for a minute. No, that moon looks too good. So yeah, then you draw, so that person draws whatever it is that they read. And so then, after your 5 minutes is done on that, you pass it to the next person. And the next person can only look at the picture. They can't look back at the other pages. They can only look at the drawing, and then they write a sentence. So you give them 3 minutes to write their sentence. Pages. So then they look at the drawing, and then they flip to the next page, and then they write a sentence describing the picture that they just saw. So, I'm gonna say like, the wolf threw a boomerang. And then you would pass it to the person to the right again, and then it goes on and on until you get your booklet back. So let's see. There's 7 players. Then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you're gonna repeat that like 3 more times. And then by the time you get your book back, you have this horrible abomination of your sentence from the start turning into something ridiculous like the Australian dingo wars were horrible for everyone involved or something. And it's really fun. I actually made the actually, do I have the booklets on here? Let me see if I have them. Because if I do, I'll make that available and you guys can play it with your friends or your family. There's holiday stuff coming up. Oh, okay, Pictionary telephone is what I called it. Okay, let me... Or you know what, let me save it as a PDF. That might make things easier for people. Where did my menus go? No, save the PDF. Save. Pictionary telephone. Gotta go to Google Drive. I love the Pictionary telephone. I can find it in my downloads. Yes. Airpin. Okay, let me cycle that again. Yes, I want to share. Copy link. Okay, and there we go. They changed my dock setup for streaming. Dictionary, telephone, game, print, out. So this was actually a game that did this game, and I did not have access to the well, I still have my original packet from college, so I just remade it so that I could introduce the game to other people. Which actually, now that I think about it, I think I'm going to print out a couple of those, since this would be a fun game for our next game night. Okay, all the pages. I want them all. And I want them to print. I think that's my workforce. Yeah, print on one side, black and white. I just remembered the Pictionary telephone game and realized that I should print that out for game night.
What's that?
I said I just remembered the Pictionary telephone game and remembered that we do game nights and that I should print them out just to have on hand.
Huh.
Remember the game that I introduced you guys to eons ago, where it's you get a packet, you write a sentence on the first one, pass
Somebody
it.
draws it. And
Yeah.
That's a fun game.
So I'm gonna print out a bunch of those so that we can just have them on hand for game nights.
Cool.
Or, you know, like, the next time Scott and Kat come over. Although I find the sweet spot to be like 6 to 8 people. Like 4, yeah, you can play it, but it's not nearly as fun because the longer it goes, the more unhinged it gets. Did it quint?
Still on stream?
Yep.
Hi, everyone.
Is the printer turned on?
Should be.
It showed up in the queue. Chips.
Using the brother?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's on. Got paper.
Did it just need you to press it?
I don't know. Nothing happened yet.
Let me try something else. Chat says hi.
Hi.
Downloads. I want to print my downloads. And then just print them out. Why are you fighting me? Okay, let's print. Alright, it's already a PDF, just print it. Print. Well, screw you, Adobe. just gonna seize up now. Why are you like this, Adobe? Oh, did you figure yourself out? Hmm? It figured itself out. You go away. You go away. And you go away. I don't care about your AI. What do you mean it couldn't print? I was thinking about it.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, the only reason I have Adobe Acrobat is because I need it sometimes for opening and signing stuff, but besides that, I really don't like it. Alright, it is also 7:30. I gotta take my union break, and then I'll get back for more eating. So now is the perfect time. If you want snackies, you should go get snackies. And we'll be back around 7:45.
Alrighty, I am back, and a minute early at that. "15 minutes sure flies by fast when you're fighting a printer." I got some half decent snackies. We had a PowerPoint party on Sunday, and some friends brought snacks of varying degrees of edibility. And the first of the snacks that I put in my mouth was disgusting. I had to spit it out. The second snack was not the worst, but not my favorite. So I just refilled on some old reliable chips. Can't go wrong with salt and vinegar chips. Hi, enchilada. And I make him taller. Levitate. Oh my god, you guys, actually, because I'm very good at distracting myself. It was this adorable video that I saw last night while I was doing prep work. Did the dryer get fixed? Let me see if I can find the video again and then share it. Share it on screen. Oh, I don't like that. That wasn't what I was looking for, but I do not like that. Massive Attack, its band name, used live facial recognition and facial tracking during their most recent performance. That's a no. There it is. I love this video so much. Let me see if I can. Oh my goodness. It makes me happy. Let me see if I can bring it up. Okay, let me mess around with my settings and see if I can. Yeah, open the background. go. Okay, let me make this bigger. Look at that happy little Tegu! Oh, he's so cute. He's just getting his little jowls rubbed and just, those little eyes are all closed and oh. Oh, it's so cute. It's just 40 seconds of adorable Tegu just getting absolutely loved on. You can tell it's a really well-handled Tegu because of how it's just letting her touch him all over the face, and it's just like, this is okay. Oh, and he's a ham, but he's my ham. Love it. I've had that video stuck in my brain. Just, no, that's the wrong thing. There we go. I've just had that video stuck in my head since yesterday when I saw it. It's just, that is called a black and white Argentine Tegu, or Argentine. There's really no correct way to pronounce it that anybody has found, or that anybody has told me. I've heard it both ways, but yes, our black and white Argentine Tegu. They are often described as scale puppies. And if anybody's ever watched any Clint's Reptiles videos, he had a black and white Argentine Tegu named Gus Gus, who unfortunately passed away recently. But we actually got to meet Gus Gus when we moved out here, and he was a sweet boy. And before we met Gus Gus, Tim and I actually got to meet a Tegu at Tim's first reptile expo, because the guy had just gotten it, like 15 minutes before we got to his table, and got to pet on him and love him. It was just so cute. Let's see. Beautiful lizards, ugly dogs. Oh my goodness, 3 out of 9 PNs sketched. Or inked. This one will be easy. Yeah, they, last I saw, they still have Allie. I watched some videos recently. Gus Gus is an iguana. I have seen those ugly dog competitions. One of those dogs from like 2016, I remember seeing a picture of it. It haunted me for years. And I feel so bad for those dogs. Jub Jub. But yeah. So, Argentine Tegus are native to South America. And there's different localities. So like I said, Argentine Tegu, there's also like Colombian Tegus and stuff like that. But from what I've heard, Colombian Tegus are not nearly as friendly as Argentines. But they come in different colors, and color kind of dictates the size. So from smallest to biggest, there is the Well, no, I'll start from biggest to smallest because black and white gets kind of weird. They are native to Argentine, but for some reason people call them Argentine. I've also heard them called Argentine or Argentinian tegus, but Argentine's easier for me to say, so I just go with that. But there are the red tegus, which are the biggest. They routinely get over 5 feet long, and they are called that for their red size. And tegus, the male is larger than the female. Oh, here's a good one. How many reptile-related tangents is not going to get on this stream? So this is a red, the biggest of the tegus, or the South American tegus, known for their red color. There is a there's a breeder that I've seen some videos of, who his red tegus are named things like Bloodbath and Crime Scene. And then there is gold tegus, which are slightly smaller than the red tegus. Come on, where's a picture of a good... If this works, here's a full grown. Copy. So this is a gold. They get 4 to 5 feet in length, closer to 5 feet, but not nearly as big as the reds. And then there are the black and whites, which are the most popular. And these guys can get anywhere from like 3.5 to 5 feet. Oh, look at that handsome baby. And still a black and white tegu, but a different quote-unquote like morph subtype is the blue, which a couple of weeks ago you guys probably remember me posting up about a blue because I'd never heard of a blue one before, and then I just happened to find one on Craigslist, and they come in blue? And these guys are still technically black and white tegus, but they're significantly smaller. The females get to like 3 feet to 3.5 feet. The males maybe get to 4, but they have kind of a bluish turquoise color to them when they're adults. But yeah, they're neat. And that video was just that video last night was just I was showing it to everybody. Oh, and that same breeder, he has another one. It's a melanistic tegu, so it means that it's majority all black. And that one's name is Plague. And I just lost my stylus pen. Stylus pen, where did you go? Oh, there it is. And yeah, a lot of the reptile YouTubers that I follow have tegus like that, so I've become very knowledgeable of them in recent months due to my obsessive watching of videos on various reptiles, because one day I would like to... Oh, I think I mentioned like last stream before I got violently ill, that I'm kind of prepping to do like educational visits and stuff where like I bring my reptiles for people to learn about. And one of the things that Tim actually suggested, and I thought it was a brilliant idea. You know, he has his moments of brilliance. He totally did not hear me.
What did I do?
Oh, I was getting ready to tell them about the great idea that you gave me for reptile stuff, and I was praising your brilliance.
Oh,
and I turned around to see if your head was getting any bigger, but you didn't hear me.
No, when you left, I put my headphones on and I've been listening to this thing, and then when you got back, I didn't turn it off.
Mm-hmm.
So, what was my idea?
I thought I had more time to eat my chip. Googling goth tags in my area to keep my FBI informant on their toes. Oh, Riley and Tatsu are still quarantined. Lee actually made an appointment with them, or made an appointment with a local vet for this week so that we can get, like, the nuclear option flea medication.
Boring. That's my idea. What was it?
So I was telling Tim about how I wanted to do, like, I guess animal parties is the best way to describe it, but, like, be able to take my reptiles to, or people pay me to bring my reptiles so that they can meet them and learn about them and stuff. And, Tim suggested that, for conventions, I could rent out a room and people could take pictures in cosplay with the reptiles.
That's right. Genius idea.
I thought it was a genius idea. So now I just need more reptiles. And space to keep the reptiles.
But yeah, how many people would love to have a picture of themselves in cosplay with a snake on their around their neck?
Yeah. Especially if it could be like a big snake, like a boa or a dwarf reticulated python. Dwarf reticulates are so expensive though. Because like, you can get a reticulated python for cheap, but if you want any of the small localities, they are... I think the cheapest I saw was like $1,500. Let me see what the going rate for reticulated pythons is right now on the Morph Market. Reticulated pythons. Honestly, I'd probably rather get a berm, because reticulated pythons are very, very energetic. Typically, they want to be moving about everywhere. Okay, how about we... Oh, well, fine, I guess Canada can stay in there. Price. Let's start from the cheapest to the most expensive. Lowest price. Yeah. There's one on sale for $175. Oh, but I love their golden eyes. Such beautiful eyeballs. But yeah, these guys get big. Like 26, 28 feet in length. They're huge. But look at those eyes. This is a baby. Oh yeah, cats are still in quarantine, and we are getting the nuclear vet prescribed flea medication on Thursday. Let me find a picture of somebody with a reticulated python, just so you can understand the the scale that this snake comes in. People holding a reticulated python. Yeah, retics are not snakes that you want to be handling by yourself. Because they are massive. I'm seeing a lot of pictures of like people holding the snake, but I want to see more of the snake than the people. Aw. That's cute, but that's not really showing the size of these snakes. Aw. I just saw the skin of one. Well, that's a bullshit picture. Sure. Sure, here's a child with a, I would say, almost full-grown reticulated python. Note that I said almost full-grown. That's reticulated python. Let me try to find one that's not showing a dead or mutilated snake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot of those. A lot of those pictures. So here's one. It's this is a 22-foot python who has to have 7 zookeepers carrying her. Yeah, these snakes can get like 24 to 28 feet in length, about 220 pounds-ish. They're big snakes. I think they're neat, but they require an enclosure the size of a room to house effectively. But reticulated pythons, or dwarf retics, are they're significantly smaller. So the ones that I showed were mainland reticulated pythons. Mainlands get big because the island is big, so the prey is bigger. The smaller islands in the region that they're from. Oh, here, this one's not that bad. It's a 7.67 meter long reticulated python, as holds record as the longest snake. Look at that chonky baby. So the smaller islands have smaller snakes, so they're reticulated pythons, but because of where they're from, they max out at a smaller size. Dwarf reticulated python. There we go. So you really gotta check the locality. You want to get them from a breeder, if you want a dwarf, because a reputable breeder, I might add, because like dwarf retics are way more handleable. But some people who just want to make a quick money or like quick buck might say, "Oh yeah, this is a dwarf reticulated python. That'll be $1,000." And then the snake grows to be like 16 feet long. And it's like, wait, no, that's not what I wanted. Here we go. So there's dwarf, and then there's super dwarfs. So this is a super dwarf. Okay, so this is mixed with a dwarf and a super dwarf. So not the smallest, but significantly more manageable.
So that's about the size of an average boa. It's still a reticulated python, but it's a mix of a super dwarf, which is from the smallest of the islands, and a dwarf, which is from one of the medium-sized islands, I guess. And just for funsies, because I have Morph Market up, let's see how much the most expensive reticulated python is. Because these prices don't hurt at all. Oh, there we go. A lavender Motley Sun Aztec reticulated python. Born this year, female, free shipping, $35,000.
They send it in a tube.
I'm assuming they send it in a climate-controlled mailing box. But yeah, $35,000 snake. I mean, this one's $10,000, but it's so cute. I too paid less than that for my car. Here's a $10,000 snake. They're tiny. But this little snaky has a couple of different traits. Oh, this one was born on Lee's birthday. This snake was born July 4th, 2024. But this one's got a paradox trait, which is the brown transitioning to the orange color. That's paradoxing. And it's pied. That's where the white breaks in the pattern are. And because I am just feeling a little chaotic today, I want to see what the most expensive animal is. Will it view all? Yes, view all. Oh, I have to pick a category. Damn it. Oh god, they have spiders. Please, how do I just look at all of the animals combined? There we go. All animals. Let's see what the most expensive animal on Morph Market is. You know, for funsies, because you guys are just seeing snake. I'm gonna... Let's change this to... There we go. Now you guys can do this with me. So let's go to the most expensive animal on Morph Market. It is this snake for $65,000. Well, okay, I guess it's tied between this large pair of tortoises. Well, let's look at the snakes. It's a ball python. It's got sunset ultramel traits. It was born last year, and it's eating live. Not great on the eating live. And where? Oh, this is from California. That's a very expensive noodle. Oh, it's a male. He's 767 grams. Or at least he was when this posting was made. My goodness. Okay, chat, what would you do with $65,000? Because for me, it certainly wouldn't be buying a snake. I'd probably build a snake in, like, just, I would build my reptile enclosures before I paid $65,000 for one single snake. Beautiful snake, but I am not the clientele for that snake. It's Ultramel. Ah! Okay,
off most of my mortgage. I would be paying my roommates off to let me build a reptile room or turn one of the buildings into a reptile room. Hey Tim,
So,
if I had $65,000 to burn, would you guys let me turn one of the buildings into a reptile room? He's thinking real hard about this.
garage.
Garage. He would let me turn the garage into a reptile room.
Yep.
Just be like, Tim, here's a stack, $65,000. I was gonna buy this beautiful snake on Morph Market, but I think the money would be better served if I just like, you know what? Here's $50,000 for the garage because I'm gonna need like $15,000 to fix it up for reptile room.
Yeah, something like that.
Tim, what would you do with $65,000?
Thinking about it.
He's thinking about it. I misplaced my stylus again, damn it. It keeps rolling behind my tablet.
Yeah, do that.
God, what is the exchange rate? Oh dang, you'd be a little less than 3,000 away from the mortgage being paid off if it was that. Okay, chat, hear me out. We get into breeding ball pythons, and then we breed a ball python that's worth $65,000. And then profit. Although, as you can imagine, the difficulty with that is finding somebody to pay $65,000 for such a snake. Because that snake was born in 2024 and it's still up on Morph Market. This snake only for like girls who almost eat a very expensive boyfriend. A ball python, they can't eat a person. Actually, my fear would be, imagine adopting a $65,000 snake and then it doesn't survive the shipment to get to you.
There's gotta be some sort of insurance on that.
Oh yeah. But I would, one, I'd be crying because dead snake. But then, I'd also be crying because $65,000. And I gotta take a quick second to... Here, look at this nerd for a minute while I answer this message, because this might be my assistant for ProperCon. Ugh, no thanks, no spiders. Okay, cool. Message sent, hopefully. hopefully my assistant, my potential future assistant, will be able to assist me for ProctorCon, because me and Tim are, well, Tim is going to be placed on the second floor of the Proctor Art Museum, and so I'm assuming Lee's probably going to be spending most of her time with him, so better safe than sorry. I imagine Ian could literally read everything. I think he could definitely look through them, but yeah, he, at this point, he bitch can't read. That's about to get fixed, though. And it won't be because of Melina. I love how we keep ending up on Short Circuit. What was it last time? Enchilada had the knockoff Short Circuit, not Legos thing. I need to watch Short Circuit again. It's been a very long time since I've watched it. That used to be my, like, one of my favorite movies as a child. Because my dad raised me on 70s, 80s, and some 90s movies. He had more of a preference towards the 80s. Sure, that looks good enough. Kind of like a better done than perfect. What did Adam Savage do? I'm sure it was something cool. Full size number 5. Look, those props are expensive. See, a film fan built a life-size Journey 5. Oh, there it is. And now it's in my queue so I can watch it later, because dang, goals. Okay, that's what I would do with $65,000. Here's the thumbnail for anybody who's confused. Tim, I think I might change what I want my $65,000 to go towards.
What's that?
I might change what I want my 65,000 to go towards.
Very cool.
Johnny 5 is alive. The blue tongue string. They're just kind of angry potatoes. I wonder if people trying to follow me in this garbage app. I don't use it anymore. Shout out to my friend's kid who got a cameo. Ellie, the great and adorable. I think she turned 6 this year. That is indeed a nibbling. So actually this chapter has cameos of 2 of my nibblings. Change the colors a little bit. Oh, I hear babies crying. I miss you too, Tatsu. Gesundheit. Okay, 8:33. I'm gonna end this at 9 because I have con prep to do. And actually, no, just that I have con prep I need to do. I'll make sure Lee knows that the chat said bless you. Night, Rosengard. message one of my friends today because he lives in Tennessee, and with the news recently, he's like, "Oh, I hope you're okay, my dude. I heard some distressing stuff and made me think about you." Even worse, he's a librarian, comic writer at a university in Tennessee. So I'm like, boy, please be safe out there. Oh, it's just our dear leader is sending troops to Tennessee. So what they're doing in Boston and LA, they're wanting to do in Memphis, Tennessee. So, you know, the usual state of America. The Rock Center. Yeah, that too. Isn't the Brock Center also in Memphis, Tennessee? Or, you know, just outside of it? I'm down to the last of my salt and vinegar chips, so it's all just crumbs. I hear those cats going. I know they're getting fed soon. Alright, 15 minutes. Do, 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 do.
Yeah, checking the news has been very depressing lately. And yeah, it's depressing. I really should stop checking and just focus on drawing for a couple weeks. Especially since now things are starting to pick up. But then, I hear about really big stuff and then I'm like, oh crap. Why wasn't I paying attention? Because your brain was being overloaded by stupidity. Control save so I don't lose anything. What comic needs adaptation via Mona? Would help if I remembered what webcomics I've been reading or have read, because I'm really bad at keeping up with webcomics. Let's I really need to update my webcomic area. I've really been enjoying the space between webcomic by Squeamo and Waves, or Waves. Waves? I can't remember. Writer and artist duo. I should bring it up and post it in the chat so you guys can actually go check it out. The artwork is gorgeous. The story's interesting so far. Let's start with the first one. Inner squares. I think this one would be really fun. Wave and Squeamo. Okay, cool.
there. Because I hear the cats crying. So I gotta go feed them and do some other stuff. So it's been great. I'll see y'all Thursday. Be cool to each other, and yeah.